Okay. Scorpios, what is going on? You're starting off with two. So what we have the situation, recent past, what you're unaware of, and then the recommendations. And you're starting off with two major arcana. As you know, major arcana, these are huge. They're game changers. They're things that are destined, fated, things you don't really have control over. When you have minor arcanas, you have more control over that. Or some people call them pit cards. But those are daily things. They're things that you can change, you can control. Your free will can adjust those things. But free will can't adjust these things that are destined. And you are starting right out the gate with two of them. Your first card that you have, this is the situation. And you have transformation. Now in the traditional tarot deck, this would be death. So you have had some endings recently. For some of you, these endings came about very abruptly, suddenly. But you're going through these. You're having to pull on your strength and your courage to let those things go. Because by doing so, then you're able to transform, you're able to renew, you're able to have closure, you're able to have new beginnings. For some, sometimes death can be actually a transformation of a situation, is what they're saying. So, the death card isn't always just death, endings, terrible, everything falling apart. Now, sometimes it is. But sometimes it's ending the way that we were, ending our beliefs, ending our old ways of thinking, our patterns, in order to start new, start fresh, start a new cycle, a new beginning. And death is actually the card for Scorpios, because Scorpios are all about transformation, new beginnings, rising from the ashes like the phoenix. But that's what you're having to do right now. You are having to transform. You are having to rise from the ashes. And for many of you, this is love related. She's in green. Green is the heart chakra. And you have the Lovers card. This is talking about the recent past and its harmony. Traditional tarot, this would be the Lovers. And this is all about a deep spiritual union, connection. This is a divine connection, partnership. This is twin flames. This is twin souls. This is soulmates. This is divine love. This is your counterpart. This is your other half. And many of you have had to let that person go. Despite the fact that they were your other half. Many of you, they are your other half. If they're your twin flame or your twin soul, they're still your other half. They're not going to stop being your other half. But it fell apart. It ended. And for some of you, it ended because when it comes to divine love, divine connections, particularly when it comes to twin flames, you are a mirror of each other. And you trigger each other. So typically twin flames will come together and they'll abruptly go opposite directions. The reason that happens is because it is to trigger healing that needs to occur. And so for some of you, you've had this cycle where things weren't balanced. You weren't loving yourself, which if you look at it, mirrors, they weren't loving themselves either. But for your own reasons, you weren't loving yourself. And you were out of balance. Because Scorpios, when they're in a relationship, they're all in. They're totally loyal. They are 100%. They give everything. They're all in. But you weren't receiving from this person. And it fell apart. And for many of you, it was totally unexpected when it came crashing down. You thought, okay, this is the love of a lifetime. This person I'm meant to be with. He knows, I know, we're each other's other half. This is going to be beautiful and blissful. And then all of a sudden, bam, it came crashing down. What you're unaware of is this had to come down to change that energy, to transform that energy, to heal your heart, to heal his heart. But then you have 8. And this is what you're unaware of, and it's positive movement forward. And this card talks about you having the skills, the gifts, the talents, you having everything that you need to move forward in a positive direction. Now that figures by themselves in the boat. But 8 is all about, with regards to this would be Pentacles, abundance, prosperity. Knowing that your efforts are getting you to your heart's desires. It's also about following your passions. So for some of you, what you're unaware of is that by doing the things that you're passionate about, Pentacles are all about, money, financial foundations. So by just letting this go and trusting and focusing on work, on career, on your passions, those things that bring you joy, that bring you happiness, and moving forward, letting go and moving forward, that will actually help you manifest the things that you want. For some of you, you're actually going to be reunited. But some, you'll end up meeting someone new. But you can't continue to be stuck in this place, because they're saying for some of you, you've been stuck in this sadness, this loss, because you knew, oh my gosh, this is the one. I feel that connection. It's a divine connection, and it came crashing down. For some of you, knew it was an eternal love, an infinite love. But for some of you, it really is truly an eternal, infinite love. It's a twin situation. You had to have this happen to transform the situation between the two of you. Because when it comes to twins, all my twin clients always have at least 1 to 2 lifetimes, past lifetimes that they share together. Typically when I'm doing healing work with twins, it takes, anywhere from 3 to 4 healing sessions for them to heal things. And typically what will happen is the last 1 to 2 healing sessions are lifetimes that they shared with their twin flame. Because there are these deep hurts that happen. Because we will be separated by things traumatic in past lives. Or have something very traumatic that happens between the two. So some of you, in order to break that cycle, so for some of you, you were in this push-pull dynamic with your other half. But that's because there was a cycle of not loving yourself. Because they're saying for some of you, they just pushed you away. You did not feel appreciated. You did not feel loved. But because you felt the connection, because you knew it was a deep connection, you just kept trying. You just kept trying to make it work, trying to make things come together, trying to show him that you love him, to show him that you care, to show him that this is unconditional love. Baby, this is not going to get any better than this. But he didn't want it. He pushed you away. And there were energetic reasons for that. And for many of you, it was because it was cycles from past lifetimes. You had to have it completely come crashing down. Because that's what had to end that cycle. Because for some of you, he was pushing you away in a past life for whatever reason that it came about. And not that it's cruel reasons. I mean, there are, I'm going to go into a big long list, but there are legitimate reasons why someone would push you away. Okay, let me give you a sample. So my twin flame, he and I, our most recent lifetime, we were husband and wife, and we lived in Canada. It was actually World War I. Yes, we incarnated back very quickly. He had gone to war, World War I. We were still under control of Britain. He went there, severely injured, mustard gas, shrapnel attack. When he returned home, he pushed me away because he didn't feel he was capable of giving me that life that we had desired. We wanted to have a family. We had these things. He needed 24/7 care, and he didn't feel that he could do that and pushed me away. Meanwhile, I did everything to try and make it work, still wanted to make it work, and we ended up separating. He finished the rest of his life being cared by his sister. I spent the rest of my life in a monastery, but I would not even take even though I continued work the rest of my life as a nun, I would not take the vow to become an official nun because I thought, well, if I can't even get my own husband to love me, I'm not even worthy of my own husband's love, then why am I worthy to become a nun? So we carried those dynamics into this lifetime. So in this lifetime, my twin continues to push and has done that. That's been this dynamic. And the dynamic of me trying to cling and hold on. And there's many of you out there that have had that dynamic. Now you can change the sexes to fit your story, but what they're saying is many of you were divine feminine. You are the women. You are trying so hard to make it work. But you have got to love yourself enough to know that twin flame, twin soul, soulmate, it doesn't matter. It needs to be balanced. If I'm going to open my heart to you, if I'm going to bare my soul to you, am I going to open up and connect with you? You had better do the same with me. Because it's not balanced. It's off balance then. And you can't sustain something that is that out of balance. Which is why it all came crashing down. Now, it all came crashing down because you both have to do some heart healing to come back into loving yourselves. For him, he needs to come into loving himself to know that he's worthy of this for his own reasons. The same thing for you. But with your healing, it's to know that you're worthy of having love reciprocated, returned, to receiving love. Because they're saying for some of you, you just keep giving and giving and giving and giving. You're not receiving. And it's a defense mechanism. When you really start to dig in and do your healing work, if you haven't already, you need to start doing some energy healing. Because as you dig in, you'll find that at a core root issue, you do that. It's a way of trying to prove that you are worthy of someone's love. It's, for some people, it's also energetically, if I'm giving, I'm not having to receive, then I don't owe someone. There's a multitude of reasons, but it had to happen. It had to fall apart to force the healing. For some of you, it is going to be transformation that you will ultimately end up coming back together. But it's different for everyone. But by letting go, focusing on your heart healing, the thing you're not aware of is that is going to bring you some positive movement. It is going to move things forward. As hard as it is for you to let this love go, let this divine love go, you have to let it go for things to move forward in a positive direction, for things to shift, for things to change, for you to have happiness come back into your life, for you to have the sun come back in. You have to let it go. And that's not been easy. The card that you have for their recommendation is you have Goddess of the Unknown. And at the bottom it says, a new chapter of your life is around the corner. Remove fear and embrace the unknown. Now, I know that's hard for Scorpios because you're the detective of the zodiacs. We like to know everything. We're highly intuitive. Scorpios are the most intuitive sign of all the signs. They get intuitive information all the time. They know everything that's going on all the time. So to not know what's going to happen with this, to not know by, okay, if I fully let him go, let her go, move on and press on, well, what's going to happen? Are we going to come back together? We're not going to come back together. Well, you don't need to know that. They don't want you to know that. It's okay to have surprises sometimes. Embrace the surprises. And actually, I'm going to read that real quick for you. Okay. So, only through the darkness of night are we able to see the beautiful tapestry of light which stems from the stars above. This card is here to help you ease your fears about the future and of the unknown. Even though you presently cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel, you are being urged by the goddess to trust. You are always on the right path, even when you think you've strayed completely off of it. A major chapter in the story of your life has recently come to a close, and an exciting new chapter is about to begin. Through the current emptiness, the seeds of a fertile new future sprout through. Soon, you will see the light shining as brightly as ever. So let go, Scorpios. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about anything. For most of you, this situation's already been resolved. Well, for all of you, it's already been resolved. Whether it's someone new or this is going to be fixed, but it's already been taken care of. You just have to trust. Because when they're saying for most of you, what's happening is you are trying so hard to control the situation. You have got to let go and let God. You're blocking yourself. Let go, let God. Don't worry about it. When you hold on so tightly and you're constantly, because Scorpios are intuitive. So some of you are constantly asking, what's he doing? Who's he dating? How's the relationship going? When am I going to hear from him? And you're not focusing on your own healing, because some of you have healing that you still have to accomplish. For some of you, you have a spiritual practice, spiritual work that you're supposed to be doing. You won't come back together until you do that. And they're not going to give you the information of how it's going to work, because that's the beauty of it. But if you hold on so tightly and you're constantly asking what's going on and what's happening now, and you're constantly getting readings, or you're constantly doing readings yourself, and you're not doing your healing, and you're not doing your spiritual work, and you're not focused on you, you will not come back together. You will not have the sun come in. Because what you're telling God is, I don't think you can do this. I don't trust you. And you're also saying, I don't trust that this is going to work out. Which is why you'll hold on to it with the death grip. You just need to trust that, okay, if this is a divine love, God will take care of it. If it's not, God will bring me in another soulmate. But you have to trust without expectations. And just be open to the miracles, whatever those miracles are. Because they're saying majority of you are stuck because you are trying to control so hard and you're having such a hard time letting go. So, super clarifier on transformation. Let's move these up. Okay. So, Grand Consolazione, La Conversation, Ammalato. See those all three at one time. Okay. So the first card that you have is, gratification after a very long time. He's thinking about it. He's got a wedding ring, money, crown. But he's been thinking about it a long time, working on it for a very long time. And then you have happy conversations that go well. But then you end with a sick person, health problems. He's laid up, he's sick. So for some of you, you're sick because this relationship ended. You thought, okay, you've been thinking, okay, this person I'm going to marry, this is my other half, this is going to turn out beautifully. Even having conversations, you were thinking it was going to head that direction, then all of a sudden, bam, it didn't. And you've been sick. For some of you, it ended because he is sick. For some of you, it's sick. It's things that he has to heal with his heart. For some, it's behaviors, it's habits that he has. So for some, he has a drinking problem. For some, particularly when it comes to men, if they have some heart healing that they don't want to heal and they don't want to face, they will become very promiscuous. Some, they'll have a porn addiction, or they'll hop from woman to woman because their heart's sick. They're sick. They don't want to fix and heal their heart. For some of you, it has. It's just made you. It's just made you sick to think that this. Well, to know this did end. It did. It ended. So it's made you sick to have this end. And for some of you, you're a male. And you're sick that it's ended. Or how it ended. Okay. So we have the letterato, l'amica, and l'ardro. So letterato, this is communications, written communications. It's, you notice he's looking in the direction of the past. So communications with someone from the past. And then we have the friend, the confident, a relationship of trust, someone you can count on. And then we have the ladro, and that's the thief. Robbery, fraud. Okay. So you had this divine connection, this divine relationship. A relationship of trust, solid foundation. But he was busy communicating with someone in the past, instead of focusing on his other half, the person he's meant to be with, the person that would have a solid foundation that he could build a future on. He was totally focused on someone from the past, having communications with that person. They're saying for many, he was at a distance with this other woman. So it was phone communications, written communications. But he was not sharing any of that with her. And he was turning his back. See how his back's turned to her? He was totally turning his back to her. So because of that, what could have been beautiful, what could have been a divine union, marriage, connection coming together, was stolen. This opportunity, they were robbed of this opportunity because he was stuck on the past. And for some, he took off like a thief in the middle of the night to be with that other person. And last, what you're unaware of, is the Dottore, Domestico, and Bambino. So, Dottore, this could be doctor, but it's any type of professional, any help. Could be a counselor, could be an attorney. Maybe for some of you, you're going through an ugly divorce and you need an attorney to help you. It could be an attorney. It could be anyone could be a healer. They're saying for a number of you it's a healer, like an energy healer. Someone that's educated, someone. And a professional could be anybody that has a degree. Anyone that holds a degree is a professional, is licensed to help you, to assist you. And then here it comes in the domestico, the helper, the collaborator. And then that creates a new beginning. So you're not aware that there is help out there. You are going to be getting the help that you need, the healing you need. If you go and you get the healing that you need, you are going to come together and you will have a new beginning. And for some of you, you're wanting to start a family, you'll start a family at that point. But they are not going to tell you all the details. They are not going to do that. So